What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Game of the Week show. I'm your host, Matt Southwell, and joining me this week, as always, Dan Gilbert and Ashley Dye.
Hi, Matt.
Is everyone well? Excited for Christmas now? We're nearly there.
I know. I've got to do some shopping.
You got to do some shopping.
I haven't done any since you spoke last week.
Just been too busy getting drunk. Yeah, Ash is a little bit hungover today, so if he seems quieter than normal, that will be why. But we will get straight on with the show. But just very quickly before we do, I'll mention this at the end as well, but because some of you probably turn off halfway through, I'll mention at the beginning that we're going to take a couple of weeks break for Christmas after this video. We'll be back the second Monday. I should have looked up the date really. About the 12th of January. We have two Mondays off anyway, let's put it that way. So we'll be back on the 12th of January. But anyway, anyone also new to this Game of the Week show, it is three friends who sit around this table every Monday, unless it's Christmas, to discuss the video game news, video game industry news. We'll then also go through this week's game releases and basically take our pick from which we think is the Game of the Week. So moving straight on to the news section. Despite it being almost Christmas, there's still a few things trickling out.
Yeah.
The big one being, number one, GTA Online Heists. We finally have some more information. These were obviously initially supposed to come out not long after GTA Online, which released in October 2013.
Yeah.
We then got Spring. I think Spring was the first time it was announced.
Yeah.
Which then got pushed back, and we still don't have a date, but we've now been told early 2015. So probably about November time. But what do we? There's been a trailer. What did you guys think of the trailer, and the details released about it?
Yeah, it is so long overdue. It really is, and we've been talking about it for months since we've been doing this show. We've been talking about it, and it's like
been a running gag.
It's like a standing joke.
But it's no longer coming soon. We actually have a.
I think the fact that they've now put out a trailer means that they are actually happy with the product they have.
Yeah.
Because like reading the interviews and stuff like that, the reasons they gave for the delays were they had it going, they built it up, but they weren't happy with the final product, and it wasn't delivering what they wanted, so they basically tore it back down and started it again, which is fine.
I don't have no.
That's absolutely fine. It would have been good if Rockstar had just said that.
If we'd been kept up to date, maybe a little bit more.
Because it's all been in the dark kind of thing. It's just like they've just been pushing it kind of thing. If they'd just said, sorry, we tried it, it's not delivering the results we want, as soon as we're happy with the product, it'll be out.
Yeah.
It would have been much better, but I can understand why, because they wanted to get balance so that everyone was always involved in something.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same as a story mode where you've got like character switches, like if you assign one player, let's say this is an example they were using the getaway driver.
Oh yeah,
while three go into the bank to do everything. One guy's going to be sat in the car, kind of thing, not doing anything while everyone else is having fun. Which is why they wanted to change it up. So basically, everyone's always got a job to be doing, always got roles and things like that.
Yeah, that sounds so. Like obviously, when you are the getaway driver, you're not just going to be sitting in the car listening to the radio.
Yeah,
there's going to be some obviously. Coincidence, awkward moment is going to be you're going to have to drive around the block a couple of times and then pick them back up.
Yeah,
but that kind of is cool, and it does obviously make everyone involved. A couple of details we should say: you should all make sure that you're at least rank 12 or above. We were discussing that before, though. That's easy. A couple of hours work. It's not long at all.
If you've got friends who are looking to do it together, then boosting that. Between each
with
other,
crew,
doing activities and whatever.
Yeah, do your stuff with the crew because you get
additional XP.
It does require 4 players, so we're going to have to try and find another friend, which might be a bit difficult.
Well,
but
we've got a crew of 5. Come on.
Yeah, we've got a crew of 5.
Okay, and then one player will have to be the heist leader. That leader basically orchestrates everything, kind of assigns the tasks to everyone. He'll also have to have a high-end apartment. I don't really know what high-end.
Basically, it
the heist room.
It's one of the ones that's got like the 10 car.
But don't they all have those?
No.
There are some cheap ones. Okay, well I've got one of those, haven't I?
Yeah. So any one of us can.
That's fine. And there's advantages and disadvantages to being the leader. You can choose how much cut everyone's going to get. So if there's a mate that you don't really like, you can give him a crap cut. But he will have to. The heist leader will also have to give the upfront cost. So make sure someone in your crew is rich.
Yeah, everyone else gets paid per mission. The heist leader only gets pay at the final. pay out at the end of the heist.
But obviously, as the leader, you can choose to take as big a cut as you want.
Yeah, but the other thing that I should say is that these heists are meant to be replayable, so that everyone can experience a different role. So it's not like one person is the heist leader and therefore that's it. They never get to do that again. So they could be just one of the lackeys next time.
Yeah,
and everything's supposed to be different enough, isn't it?
Yeah, so that everyone gets to experience the different roles that each heist has to offer.
I'm guessing you're not really going to be earning much more than probably like $50,000 GTA because surely, Rockstar are all about trying to get people to buy extra dollars and do other missions. I mean, if these heists turn out to be, you get 6 figures for doing a heist each or something, then nobody's going to bother with any of the other stuff online.
Well, then you just introduce more stuff that costs even more. Like in the game, you're able to buy
like the cars, the planes, the helicopters, stuff like that. The higher end stuff will basically eat into that money for. Yeah, you got to think along the lines of they'll probably start introducing at some point. You got your higher end apartments. They introduced a few like actual houses a couple of times in their updates for short periods of time.
Yeah,
they're probably going to start introducing bigger things. Like businesses may end up being purchasable. Like they'll bring stuff in that will force you to use that money.
There's always going to be a way, and there's always going to be those people that might not be able to play or want to play the heists. So they'll still. But I think they've always said that like microtransactions. I don't imagine Rockstar's like that company that feels they need to make as much money as possible out of microtransactions. But it's just there because people want it. One of the things
they actually put into that whole, like they did the Q&A to go alongside this, and they actually said the reason for the shark cards, which is like their dollars thing, is so that they can keep the DLC free. Because basically they have the option of charging for extra money, and then people just help feed the game through that.
Yeah.
Or every time a DLC comes out, it ends up segregating the game. Gamers and like to different people who've got this.
That's
like,
true. All of these updates are free, aren't they?
Yeah,
that's a good point.
So which is why they're doing it this way, so that they can keep everyone on the same level.
Yeah, it's online has evolved so much. I mean, there are just so many more things that there are now online. And considering it's all free, I think is testament to what Rockstar.
We'll just leave it with one more thing on the trailer.
Yeah,
there's an aircraft carrier.
There is.
Yes.
That's it. It just looks awesome.
Good.
We'll move on then. Number 2 on the list this week, and a story mode for Minecraft has been announced. This is going to be a Telltale's game, effectively. It's going to be a narrative-driven video game by Telltale's, and also they're going to be working with Mojang, obviously the creator of Minecraft, and also some members of the Minecraft community to make the game, quote, Minecrafty as possible. But what it did say is that it won't be an official story for Steve, which I assume is the main guy.
It's the Minecraft character.
Or explain the world of Minecraft in general. It's just going to be
I think like just reading that, it's essentially going to have things much like the Lego movie and games and so on, where someone will just
create a story.
Yeah, like build. No, as in like it builds something like just randomly out of the air, or like pops something up and puts something in. It's just like that's going to be normal kind of thing to everyone in the game. It's just live with it kind of thing. It's not going to explain the concept to anyone. It's just going to be built this.
I think this was almost. I didn't personally see this coming, but it kind of makes sense. It's an inevitable thing. Minecraft is a freight train of success. It's like so big, and obviously Telltale's is coming out with games left, right, and centre. They're doing a lot.
We must have talked about some kind of Telltale game every week for like the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, well, they've
been busy.
They're very busy, and they're a very good studio. I would say I will be interested to see what this game is like when it comes out in early. Well, not early, but just the first episode will be in 2015, and it will be available on. Big ref. Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, PS Vita, PC, Mac, iOS, Android, and microwave. And basically any other electronic device. It's just like it's basically on everything that you could want it to be on. It probably runs on Linux as well.
Looking at that list.
Yeah.
Nintendo. Nope.
No.
That's a good point actually, there's no Nintendo there. Nintendo have got enough of their own good games to worry about.
But I don't think Minecraft's on Nintendo anyway.
No. So basically, anywhere that you can get Minecraft story mode will be available.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3. Any fans of Devil May Cry at this table?
No.
Excellent. Well, there is Devil May Cry is coming to the new generation. There's going to be a Devil May Cry Definitive Edition. That kind of sounds quite familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And also a Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition. We don't know too much about the DMC4 yet, but the Definitive Edition will include the main game with all the DLC, which is pretty standard, running in 1080p and 60 frames per second. It's going to have new modes and difficulty levels, and will come with leaderboards, trophies, costumes, all that.
It does look good.
Jazz. Now, from a personal point of view, I'm actually quite excited for this because I never really got to play a Devil May Cry game. Not properly. I played a couple briefly at friends' houses, but I never owned one. So the chance to play a game that a lot of people do say are very good games is good, but these studios just need to stop, don't they, with these definitive editions?
Yes. There's a lot of them.
There are a lot of them. But I suppose at some time, I think we've got to maybe almost understand that there are a new generation of gamers coming up who might not have played these kind of great games from like previous generations.
Yeah.
So like, whether or not just up-resing the old game is the right move, whether or not they should be making a new Devil May Cry game, I don't know. But either way, people are obviously buying all of them.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. There are a whole new generation of gamers now who probably didn't have a PS3 or previous gen, and so those good classic games, you can warrant up-resing them and have them on the current gen.
I think there should be a general rule that you should not have any games from at least, I think, 5 years. Do you think is reasonable? Basically, any games coming out on the PS4, Xbox One should be a remade game that's coming from the Xbox/PS2 era. Rather than the PS3. I don't know. There's some games that have obviously been good, but like ones like Sleeping Dogs and like Lara Croft and stuff, they came like a year later.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's a big cash-in. Whereas things like...
But then it's no different to GTA.
True. And Last of Us.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
And we all purchased those.
The thing is, like, within the last year, you get a lot of people who sort of like held off going, well, newer generation's coming out, there's probably going to be a new generation version. I'm not going to get the old
Did
one.
they think that now? I've been thinking about this. Did they think that? Because we never really had remastered. We had a few HD collections on like the PlayStation Network and stuff like that, but we didn't have this big, huge kind of every week almost definitive edition coming out. Did we? Or did we?
No.
I don't think we did.
No,
but like, the way the internet works, probably rumours of these things started circulating, which...
Well, they're obviously making money, and it's an easier way for a company to make money because the foundations of the game is.
Yeah.
I know it's not just basically doing file save as graphics drag from medium to high. It's a bit more difficult than that, but it's. I would make as a gamer who has access to all the old consoles. If I really wanted to play Devil May Cry, I could, in theory, just go and buy it on the old console.
Yeah.
If I really wanted, but I'll probably buy this one on the new gen.
Yeah.
And it's out anyway, very quickly on March the 17th for PS4 and Xbox One, and it's going to be $40 or £30. So at least it's not quite full price.
Yeah.
That's ones I can get on board with more so.
Yeah.
When they're a cheaper price.
If you're releasing a game that's already been out, bring it in at a cheaper price.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Alright, we'll move on now to a new game, which is always nice. Everybody's gone to the Rapture, which is a PS4 exclusive. There was an update on the blog of the developer this week saying that the game is now more than halfway complete, which is, I suppose, good. It's going in the right direction. Now, we don't actually know too much about this game. We know it's being co-developed by Santa Monica Studios, who made the God of War games, which a lot of people
pretty big
enjoy. It's a first-person adventure game, large open world, story-driven. Basically, the game starts at the end of the world, and that's pretty much all we know.
Yeah.
Did you guys look at the screenshots this week? They look pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's not really too much giving away. It's just
apart from the fact that they've mentioned it's going to be set in 1980s England.
Rural England. Sorry.
Yeah.
gotta make that important.
Yeah. rather than 1980s London.
Yeah. Or Sheffield. Sheffield was probably the other big city of the I do like games being made in England as well, because you get too many games that are stateside.
It's very easy for them to just go, let's make it in LA.
Yeah.
Or New York.
Yeah, like there's some landmarks everyone will recognise, and let's just dull up the area a bit, make it look a little bit run down, and hey, there's a game.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it does happen.
Everyone is. You look on the internet. Everyone is really excited for this game, which, I mean, I'm interested because of the pedigree of Santa Monica, but there's so much mystery behind this game, which is good. I like games being, there's so many games now where we basically know exactly what we're getting into almost before we buy it.
Yes.
So to have a game where you don't know anything, and that's the whole. They basically almost said that they're not going to tell us anything about it before it comes out, because it's like it sounds like kind of like a mystery story. I'm going to imagine it's basically like kind of your character, or I believe there's like you control multiple characters, but like basically they've all woken up and like the world is like empty. Yeah. And people are probably trying to understand like what's happened. Yeah. So are you excited for it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it is nice. I agree. It is nice when you have a game which is it intrigues you, and I think it captures your attention. It's a clever way to market. I think if you can entice people but not give too much away.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you get a lot of serialized games as well. Yeah. So you already know, even if you don't know like the actual story or whatever behind a serialized game, you know the basic concept.
You know what's going to happen.
Sorry, you just keep saying serialized, and I keep thinking of Cocoa Pops. But yeah, no, it's always I always like ideas of like new IP as well, something different.
Yeah,
it's too easy for people to be just going, oh well, that did well, so we'll make another one of those.
Yeah.
So I'm always excited for new IPs, and hopefully this one will be good when it comes out in 2015. Touch wood. The final one this week then. I thought we'd just include this. There's not so much a specific news story, but just kind of generals going on, you reading things on the internet. Everyone, well not everyone, but everyone that owns Nintendo consoles, specifically the Wii U, are going crazy.
So 6 people?
No. There's a few million.
I know.
But they're all going crazy for these Amiibos. Anyone really understand why? Because basically there was some figures that came out last week that basically they've sold about 750,000 of them in the US alone. Now that's basically how they'd also announced like before that like that's basically how many units of Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U they've shifted. So that's basically saying that like literally everyone that's bought that game is buying an Amiibo.
Yeah.
Because apparently it will work with more games, but this is like the first game where it's really
not like
integrated.
The thing is I've read is that they're going to be discontinuing certain ones, and
so everyone's getting excited
buying those, and they've said when like stores' shelves are empty of that particular product, they're not getting refilled.
Yeah.
So obviously it's turned into a collector's item in one sense. Certain one.
People are going crazy for like. I've seen people like in groups saying that like they're waiting for these things to go on sale because they're like pre-order, and basically within like minutes of them going like online for pre-order, they're then sold out.
Yeah. Like
someone said that like he literally was refreshing the website, saw it went on pre-order, added it to his basket, and by the time he got to checkout, it was no longer available.
Wow.
And it's just like I haven't used them, so I can't really comment too much, but I just don't understand. I mean, I understand it from Nintendo. Like, obviously, we've talked about this very briefly. Skylanders and like Activision with Disney's Infinity. That
there's a good amount.
There's a huge amount of money to be made.
A good amount of trailer money to be made there. So you've got your game. You have pretty much normal price on your game, and then you've got these things that £10 a pop or whatever they are. £5 a pop. But it's just trailer money. I mean, it's you don't have to do any DLC stuff, anything.
It's just a toy that makes. It's probably pretty easy to make. It's just got a little NFC chip in, isn't it?
Yeah.
To basically make that work with.
Yeah.
Because it basically sits on the edge of your your Wii U kind of
gamepad.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So really, it's more like kind of a little mascot you can clip onto your controller, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the thing, you can only use one at a time, but like people are buying
loads
of them.
Yeah.
But then, I understand it from some point of view, but they're very collectible. You were talking about the limited edition ones. I saw one on eBay. It was a defective one, so obviously very rare. It was Peach from Mario, obviously, but without any legs. So it's probably not going to work properly anyway. I don't know. It might still work. I don't know. But that's sold for $25,000. $25,000 for a little bit of plastic.
It's ridiculous.
I mean,
it is ridiculous.
I mean, I know that money's not going to Nintendo, but I think actually this is a really good thing that could actually help. If it's as successful as like Skylanders and Infinity, which I think it's going to be.
Yeah, Skylanders is huge.
It's going to be a good way to maybe help bring Nintendo back towards the green, or the black, depending on what you want to call it. But yeah, people are going crazy, and so if you basically what we're saying is if you see any in your shop, buy them all right now because they'll be worth thousands.
Then you can turn a profit.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so that's about it on the news front this week. We will be right back in just a second where we go through this week's game releases, and despite it being Christmas, there are still a few coming out, specifically one very good game. So we'll be right back. Okay guys, welcome back, and now we will be going through all of this week's game releases. Just very quickly, that will actually be the last time we have to do stupid cuts because I'll be getting a new camera for Christmas. This one actually only records up to 30 minutes, which is why we always have cuts, and you might notice sometimes things jumping all over the place. So that's the last time that will happen anyway. But on with the games, and the first one this week, the only one that really matters, let's be honest. Resogun, the best game on the current generation, is now available for people on the go with PS Vita and on the old generation for PlayStation 3. So,
what do you think about this game, Matt? Resogun? What's
my opinion? Some would say that it's one of the best games of all time. I don't know if I'd necessarily go that far, but it's definitely one of the best games on the PS4 at the moment. So it's a really good game, and you guys just need to play it more. It's an easy platinum, Ash.
I know.
Well, easy when you're as good as me, anyway.
Oh right, yeah.
I think you can do some of them with co-op as well, so I'll help you if you need it.
Oh right, okay, thanks.
But there you go. Anyway, we won't talk a huge amount of Resogun because otherwise these guys will punch me.
Yeah.
We've done a full video. I might annotate it if I remember with our comments on the game. But now basically, PS3, Vita, it's cross-buy. So if you bought it already on PS4, which let's be honest, you should have, it will be free on those consoles for you. Just go and download it. And also it is cross-save between the PS3 and the Vita as well. So you can. So unfortunately you can't do PS4 and Vita, but PS3 and Vitas are cross-save. So there we go. That's already the game of the week. We don't really need to go on, but we will anyway. Next one up, Tetris Ultimate.
Ultimate.
Want to say it one more time?
No.
Okay. It's available for PS4 and Xbox One, so everyone knows what Tetris is. It was a pretty big game back in the day, and it's
quite big.
A few people spoke about it.
Yeah.
But it's now coming to your latest console. They describe it as a fast-paced game of skill where you can take on the puzzle game solo, team up, or battle friends. Up to 4 players can get in on the action and can play all the modes: marathon, endless, ultimate, sprint, battle, and power-up battle. It's Tetris.
Yeah.
How do you co-op Tetris?
I don't know.
You move a bit. No. You move a bit.
I hope it's like one. I guess it's maybe 2 bits coming down at the same time, and then you can do it on the same map.
Or you fight over whether you're going left or right. Or
yeah, one piece, and like I'll move left, you move left.
No.
Clockwise, anti-clockwise.
You basically just end up with a tower in the middle straight away.
Co-op, that's kind of short for cooperative, yeah? Which is kind of like also goes with cooperation. Which would not happen.
No, it wouldn't.
But there we go, anyway. Tetris, available now. PS4, Xbox One.
Yeah, it could be interesting on a PS4.
Tetris is a great game.
It's a great,
it's a great time. You don't really need to.
Yeah, I just would like to point out it's published by Ubisoft, which means the co-op stuff probably won't work.
Ooh, dig at the French. But anyway, But they are French.
Yeah.
I don't know why I had to bring in like kind of country discrimination.
Yeah, I don't know.
But there we go. Yeah, look out for the 6 gig update about a weekend. Was it 6?
6.5.
6.5 gig. Next up, Pinball Arcade. Again, PS4, Xbox One. My notes say it's Pinball.
Yeah.
Loadout. So it's basically Pinball Arcade. It is Pinball. There's a load of different tables. It looks really good fun. If you like Pinball,
basically if you've played any pinball game ever,
you're like
on PC console, it's
not doing anything like revolutionary.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever remember? I think it was Windows. I'm sorry, literally all I wrote is Pinball.
Yeah, cooperative. Yeah.
Do you guys? Was it? I think it was Windows XP where you used to get that pinball game.
Yes.
On Windows. I was the boss of that game.
Yeah. It was literally just like a 3-button game. You just had like space bar for ball release. It was
actually, if you were really good, it was a 5-button game because you had the flippers, and then you could also like bang the table left and right. But don't do it too far, otherwise it would tilt, and then it would basically be you wouldn't be. You'd basically get told off for cheating, basically.
It would lock and then
yeah. But there we go. That's available now on the new gen. So. Obviously, companies really utilising the power of the new generation. Pinball and Tetris.
I know. Next
one.
Poker.
Whatever.
In all fairness,
Solitaire's already out there as well.
Solitaire.
It does show that these games are still popular, though.
Oh, they are.
It's a simple concept, but it's still popular. So it's still going.
I'm only jesting. I do love Pinball. I love Tetris. Moving on, then. Another actually really good game this week.
Yes.
Loadout for the PS4. It's a free-to-play game, so no excuse to not download it. It's a multiplayer shooter that's basically all about over-the-top action and guns, Dan.
Yes. I can't really say anything more than that, because it's an arena shooter.
Yeah.
You get a whole load of customization in on it. So
on the
like your weapons, how your character looks. And it's just a whole load of insane violence and gore.
Yeah.
But it's cartoony, so it's like... funny at the same time.
Yeah, it's like, I think one of the descriptions I read was like, it's Looney Tunes meets Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It does look really good.
Oh yeah, so Looney Tunes if it was directed by Tarantino.
Oh, that was right. Yeah.
We'll be overlaying some of the stuff so you can see it. But yeah, it looks really good fun. I would definitely be checking this out. It kind of reminded me a little bit of. Did anyone here play Bulletstorm?
No.
How about? Well, it kind of like Time Splitters as well, because Time Splitters. Time Splitters was a little bit more serious, but it's like the cartoon. It was fun. It was all, and that was a really good shooter. I think not only is this kind of like gimmicky and the over-the-top cartoonness, but it is actually, from like what people are saying, fundamentally a good shooter as well.
Yes.
So make sure you check that one out. Like I said, at that price, you have to really. A couple more here. Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of Patriots for the PS3. Not a new game, obviously, but now available digitally. Digitally? Fuck's sake. I got so
online.
close.
It's not a difficult word.
I know it's not a difficult word. Every word is difficult when you literally think of every single letter in that word.
Yeah, okay.
Try and say digitally while thinking of every single letter.
Digitally.
Fuck off. Anyway, that's available for $15.99, PS3 only, unfortunately. But there we go. One thing I will actually add very quickly. Obviously, we've got Metal Gear Solid 5 coming out next year, so now is actually quite a good time if you haven't played any of these games. Ash, you said you've completed this game, have you, or nearly completed?
Very nearly completed Metal Gear Solid 4. Yeah,
it's only been out 6 years, so I can understand.
I know. I never got around to finishing it.
But it was a good game.
It's a good game, but long. Yeah.
So yeah, that's very well. You can also actually pick up Metal Gear Solid, the first one, which is available PS3, PS Vita, for like £3. And then you can buy the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, which is 2 and 3, for £8.50. So basically, you can buy all four. There's obviously a lot more Metal Gear Solid games, but the main 4 Metal Gear Solid games basically for £25. Yeah. And that's a lot of hours, and every single game is fantastic. Yeah. Apart from 3. No, 3's a good game, but it was a lot different from 2, and I couldn't quite get into it. So the final one this week, just so we don't forget about Xbox, there is a game for Xbox One this week, other than exclusives obviously, but it's Kalimba. And right, who wants to have a go at explaining what's going on in this game?
Well, looking at it, it looks like a game that I play with my son called Fire and Water, where you're effectively two different elements. It's a bit like that in this, that you've got two different colours.
These are totem poles.
Yes, and you have you can only go through certain colours that match you, and you've got to work together by the looks of it.
Yeah.
And it's a puzzle game that you have to get from A to B, but working collectively.
Yeah, and the way it's shown in the trailer is if you're doing it single player, you've got the two totems. If you're doing it in co-op, it goes up to 4. So you're controlling 2
each.
So you could. It is a single player game first and foremost as well. So you do have to control those 2 colours. It's going to be interesting to know how you control both of them at the same time. Just thinking about
both thumbsticks.
I guess it's going to be one thumbstick for each
twin
one,
stick thing, isn't it? And
so
I'm assuming jump would either be allocated to different or 2 buttons at once, or one for each, or it's one button and it does it both at the same time.
Yeah.
But anyway, the marketing spiel, which will obviously explain it far better than us. It's a mind-bending and playful puzzle platformer. Choose between single and local 2-player, where cooperation is the key. Well, that's already in trouble. The island of Kalimba has been cast into darkness. Jump, slide, and fly your way from the underworld to the heavens in order to restore light in the land. So there you go. There is a bit of story there.
There's even an objective, you see.
You have to save the island. But no, to be fair, like the game, it looks like one of those fun kind of puzzle games that you could very easily just pick up and play for half an hour.
Yeah.
Or for many hours if you're really that kind of keen to kind of get to the end. So yeah, it's pretty actually, for the fact that it's like the week before Christmas.
Yeah.
There's still some pretty good games coming out. And what this all comes down to basically at the end of the day is shows us how strong like indie games are coming up and coming along. Because like none of these are okay. Yes, I know Tetris is coming from Ubisoft, but like then none of them are like AAA games. But they're all like kind of network games. But there's actually a really good list here. It's probably better than last week's for a start.
You only say that because Resogun's on there.
No, even without Resogun, it would still be like, because Loadout looks really good, Kalimba looks fun.
I must admit, actually, Loadout.
And then Tetris, Pinball, you can't go wrong with any of them. So
no, it's actually a good week.
What's your pick then? Closing up for the game of the week.
Loadout, it has to be. That's like I've seen that played like on like the PC. I think I said the beta version and stuff like that, and so on for a while, and I've seen it played, and it's
looks fun.
A game that
it does look fun. It does look good. I like its OTT-ness.
Yes.
Yep.
It looks good.
No, I would agree with you guys. I mean, I've got to go Resogun, but if we cast Resogun to the side, I would say out of the vest. You don't understand.
You don't understand me.
Just because it's a game that you can't do, you automatically think it's boring. Just everything about it.
I must admit, the Metal Gear Solid package is very tempting as well, so I might have to pick that up, I think, even though I've already got Metal Gear Solid 4.
But play all the others. Like I said, for £25, that's like hundreds of hours.
Yeah, I think Loadout is pick
the week. Of new games, so if I'm including Pinball and Tetris as new, because they're new games, Tetris, Pinball, Loadout, Kalimba, I would go Loadout as well. Yeah. Because it looks a lot of fun. So yeah. There we go, that's it. We are now done for 2014, guys. So you can have a couple of lay-ins over the next couple of weekends.
Thank God.
Hey.
Cheers. It's good to know that you look forward to doing these every week.
It's just so early on a Sunday.
It's 11 o'clock. It's actually 1 o'clock.
It's actually 1 o'clock now, I know.
Because by the time you get here.
It was a late night.
But there we go. So yeah, like I said at the beginning of the video, we are going to be off for the next couple of weeks, mainly because it's Christmas weekend and then I'm away, so it's nice just to have a couple of weeks off and rejuvenate. We will be coming back in the new year with this show. Like I say, it'll be even better with our new microphone and camera and
suits,
maybe new sets and everything, and maybe a few other surprises as well.
Yeah,
but we won't commit anything just in case it doesn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a like, subscribe to our channel, so you can hear all these weekly ramblings. We're also looking to maybe kind of do a couple of new videos weekly and like one-off going forward, so there will be more content coming for you guys. But for now, Ash,
thank you, Matt.
Dan,
Cheers, Matt.
Merry Christmas.
thank you, and yeah, everyone out there, have a good Christmas, and we will see you in the new year.